Peter, hope everything is well with you.
Thanks, Dave. Good to see you.
You too. All right, excellent. Let's start this off. So good morning, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us today. Together with my colleague, Kristen Kelly, my name is Dave Fatizo. And today we offer you our second edition to a series we call Business Today. To kick off this event this morning, we would like to welcome Joe Rettig, partner over at BBS Architects and Engineers, Natalia Evengelista, sales manager for Fogo de Chao Restaurant, and Rich Lisk, executive VP of GF Sports and Entertainment. Before we get into the event, I'd like to tell everybody just a little bit about our panelists. So let's start off with Joe. Joe is a partner at BBS Architects, Landscape Architects and Engineers PC, a firm that employs around 72 people with their main office located in Patchogue. They also have a branch in Albany, New York, and an upcoming branch, a branch office, I should say, in Danbury, Connecticut. Joe oversees the firm's architectural division, facilitating work within between offices. He coordinates with architectural and engineering management to generate and maintain the firm's overall production schedules and staffing assignments so that each project is paired with the appropriate specialized professionals to achieve optimal results. Joe holds a bachelor's degree in architecture from NYIT and is a father of 4 children ages 15 to 21. Everybody, please welcome Joe Rettig. Hello, Joe.
Thank you. I couldn't have said it better myself, Dave. You got me to a T.
Next, I'd like to introduce Natalia Evengelista. Natalia has been in sales since 2011 after starting her career journey in the financial world. After she was introduced to the restaurant and hospitality field, she fell in love with bringing client vision to life over delicious food and amazing ambiance. Growing up in a huge Portuguese family, she was drawn to Fogo through a shared value of bringing friends and family together to celebrate special occasions, big and small. As our Long Island sales manager, Natalia builds relationships with clients daily to achieve that vision. Everybody, please welcome Natalia. Hello, Natalia.
Hi, nice to meet everyone.
Glad to have you all. And last but not least, my friend Rich Lisk. Rich is the Executive Vice President of GF Sports and Entertainment, a live events and sports media entertainment company which owns proprieties such as the New York Riptide of the National Lacrosse League and ATP World Tour tournaments like the New York Open. And this is just to name a few. Prior to joining GF Sports, Rich was general manager of the New England Black Wolves, which is a National Lacrosse League team. And during his tenure, the team went to the playoffs 4 consecutive seasons, and Inside Lacrosse recognized Lisk as its 2016 General Manager of the Year for his work. In addition to his time in the NLL, Rich was a General Manager of the Philadelphia Soul and President and General Manager of the East Coast Hockey League's Trenton Titans, an affiliate of the Philadelphia Flyers. Rich is a graduate of Rutgers University. Everybody, welcome Rich Lisk.
Thank you. And Dave, we definitely got to make you our PR person. I definitely think you need to be our PR. You're hired by all 3.
Oh, that was good. Thanks so much. So, the topic of today's event is Business Today, as it's titled. And I'll be asking questions relative to how each of your respective businesses navigated through the current pandemic. You'll have a couple of minutes. We'll try to keep it to like 2 to 3 minutes to answer each of the questions asked. And as you could see, we have a very diverse panel where Rich is obviously in the sports and entertainment industry. Natalia is from the food and beverage industry. And Joe participates in the architectural, landscape design, and engineer industry. So it's getting a good view from different industries. So let's just start off with the first question, and we'll run it off with Joe will answer first. 2020 brought challenges to all of us. So talk about how your business has been impacted by the pandemic.
Yeah, thanks. Well, first I'll say, thanks for including me here. I think this is a wonderful thing you guys are doing. In lieu of having us together in person, which I hope can and can come back on again soon. And thank you to Kevin Law for his past leadership, and congratulations to him in the future. But now I'll get to your question. So 2020 showed a dip in our market. My firm does work in the public sector. We do town, county government work, public schools, higher education. We do very little private work. On occasion we do. And residential market has certainly been different from the public sector as far as architecture and engineering go. So we did show a dip in the market for us, and that did result in some layoffs, unfortunately. And it was challenging for a lot of people. Within a week's time, you had to go to 50% staffed and 25% staffed and 0% staff in the office. So that was a challenge, but we did it. We had to put some people on furlough and then brought those people back on, fortunately, those who are professionals that oversee construction sites. So once the construction end of our industry learned how to build again through COVID, we got to bring those people back. But we are back to full steam now. Things are looking pretty good right now. Thank you.
Excellent. That's good to hear. I think everyone had the challenges, especially with, like you said, running at X%, everyone working mobile, et cetera, et cetera. So it's nice to see how everyone's getting back. So Natalia, let's get the point of view from Fogo de Chao and how the challenges affected and impacted your organization during the pandemic.
Sure, absolutely. Being that we had to close our doors and we were fully just new, we opened, December 2019, and we had to close our doors in March. We pretty much ended up having to furlough 90% of our staff. So we had to come up with ways to keep our doors open and being able to still service our community and provide meals for our community. So, what we did was launch other programs to keep our doors open. But we definitely, like Joe said, we had to furlough 90% of our staff. We kept our doors open by doing the aspect of catering, to go, butcher shop, and just launching other things that were able to help the community and also keep our doors open. But that definitely affected us by closing within a few months of opening our doors.
Wow. Having to open newly and then get hit by the pandemic, that's tough. That's tough for any industry, especially in your industry where it thrives on people walking in the door. When they can't walk in the door, you don't make any money.
Correct.
So
Absolutely.
I'm glad to hear of the outreach and everything that you guys have done since then. So all kudos to the entire staff, management, yourself, and everybody there at the organization. Rich, I know sports is near and dear to my heart. I lean on it heavily. I'm always watching it. And there was that period of time when there was absolutely no sports whatsoever. And it was challenging. So tell us how your organization, went through it, from the beginning and to where you guys are today.
Sure. No, and I appreciate you having me on. And sports did get hit hard, right? Like the service industries and restaurants and things, sporting events and live events got hit hard. And we're a sporting event and a live event company. So it devastated us across all platforms. And we own 2 ATP events. We own an AKC dog show event. We own a concert series. We own a Wolfpack Ninja Warriors. We own a National Lacrosse League team. And so across all of that, we had to shut all of those down for this upcoming season. So I'm going to focus a lot on the Riptide because that's here on Long Island and what happened there. I joined the team in January. Our last game was March the 6th. So I didn't have much time to get acclimated to the whole organization. At that point, I was still evaluating. But I will say this, our ownership group really looked at it a different way. The way they put together the team, it was so quick getting it up and going that I don't know if we had the right business operations in place. And I definitely, we were 1-12 on the field, so I know we didn't have the right lacrosse operations on the field. So when the pandemic hit, we went to our ownership group with a plan to say, hey, this gives us an extended off season. let us set everything up the right way. And I give a lot of credit to our owners that they did not furlough anybody. They kept us going, and they said, put the plan together to make it the best it could possibly be coming out of this. And we did. And we revamped our whole front office staff. We revamped our whole lacrosse operations staff. And really now we're out in front of it, because the year before that, we were probably, and if I'm being honest, some people say my honesty gets me in trouble. We were last in the league on the field, and we were last in the league off the field. And I'm happy to say that at least in this off season, we're trending being first in the league in sales and things, because we've taken this time to really put the right plan in place. So again, I tip my hat to our owners. They didn't have to do that, but they looked at this as a long-term investment in Long Island and took it as that.
And I tell you, we're happy to have teams like the Riptide, call Long Island their home, the Long Island Nets, that, call Long Island their home, the Ducks, they call Long Island their home. We couldn't ask for anything better, and we're happy to see that everything is going according to plan. Sports obviously has been back for quite some time. Your season begins, I believe you had mentioned to me, December?
Yeah, they're going to start us December 4th. It looks like our opening night will be December 4th.
That's awesome. That's good. I'm very happy to hear it. Thanks so much. Next question is basically, have your organizations made any changes to adapt to the current way business is conducted today? Because it's definitely conducted differently than it has in the past. Hopefully, once we get through the next few months, it'll be a little bit more normal. But during, from January to current, Joe, talk to me about any kind of ways you had to adapt to conduct your business.
So, like most other professional offices, we of course made widespread use of video conferencing. Teams, Zoom, free conference call, things like that. They really helped at the time, helped keep us going.
Yeah.
But that only works for a little while for my industry. Like I said in response to the last question, we had to close the office and have everybody working from home. Pick up their desktops and if they had company laptops, take the company laptops home and work from home. But the architectural profession is collaborative, and it doesn't work so well remotely. Now, the funny thing is, I speak to some of my competitors, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. And they feel the same as me. So I read articles in professional magazines about how wonderful the architectural engineering industry, this remote working is, and how people take such great advantage of it. It's so successful. Well, me and my competitors here on Long Island think it's terrible. So we know we need to get back in. We need to get back to normal. So I think, going forward, we will be using video conferencing more, which is helpful in certain aspects, between our clients and us to go over minor details, I'd say. But, major details you need face-to-face. So it might help us get through minutiae easier and quicker. So I'm thankful for that. But again, we just really need to get back together. You need to be together to control the conversation, with your clients, to steer it. Fluidity in conversation, it just doesn't happen as well, over video conferencing. So I'm looking forward to that.
I agree with you. I think the aspect that's most lost in all of this is the you're sitting in front of somebody, and it's so much more personable than sitting in front of somebody on a computer. I mean, listen, thank gosh for Zoom, but I think like you had said, Joe, we were using WebEx minimally in the past, and Google or Microsoft Teams. I've always been about meeting people. I'm still like, pre-pandemic, I was still an old school sales guy. I love to go knock on doors. I love to just walk into a place and just leave information, not even really making any kind of an attempt to solicit, but just say, hey, this is the LIA. If you haven't heard who we are, just want to drop off some information to you. If you have an interest, you can just give me a call. Here's my contact information. That's how I've always been, and that's probably how I'll always continue to be. I just feel right now I'm just on hold for a little bit. You know what I mean? We're all going to get through this. It's all going to come back to normalcy real soon. I think sooner rather than later. I've actually tried to get back to the old traditional phone call instead of a Zoom. You know, it was always about, hey, Joe, let me just pick up the phone. I'm just going to give you a quick call. And now it's, hey, let me just send you a link. And then you're going to click on the link so I could just have a quick chat with you. I've kind of been reverting back to the phone calls, trying just to get away from it. But listen, it definitely has a place. I think it will definitely have a place moving forward to a specific point. But I don't know. Natalia, what's your take on it?
No, for sure. I mean, we didn't have working remotely, like we were in the restaurants for those that were working. But as far as changes, we actually needed to do a lot of different changes in order to be able to open our doors when they were allowing us to open. If you guys ever been to Fogo de Chao at any of our locations, we're known for our market table. We have a 16-foot large market table that before anyone could just walk up and go ahead and touch utensils and pick your food and everything like that. We had to change that up definitely because, people were definitely not comfortable just going up and touching utensils. So at one point, we would only have a market attendants that would be serving every guest. So sometimes the lines would be a little bit long because you had to be 6 feet apart and you had to wait to be served by one of our market attendants, which was wearing gloves, a mask. And when you would go up to the table, you had to have a mask on at all times, of course. So that would take and prolong being able to go to the market table. Now it changed as far as you're able to serve yourself, but you would have to hand sanitize your hands at first, put on gloves, and of course you have to have your mask on. So the line is still there, but it doesn't, now you can actually just walk in and get what you're looking to do and then walk out. Because sometimes people don't necessarily want to go around a whole market table, they just want specifics and they want to go back to their seats. But those were definitely changes that we had to have. Seating capacities, that was something we always, at 25, 35, 75, it was always changing depending on what they wanted. Also capacity at one per table. So before you would have an event, you would have one long table if you wanted. You were able to combine tables. Now it's a max at 10 per table. So even if you all had 11 people, by law, we weren't able to sit 11 people. We had to split it into 2 tables, and it's still the same way. And then again, the 6 feet apart. So all the tables had to be 6 feet apart no matter what. So we don't have any borders or dividers or anything with the tables. So we had to make sure that all the tables were 6 feet apart. So those are definitely some of the things that we had to do. And as mentioning before, launching, catering to go, butcher shop, we have Uber Eats, DoorDash, you name it. We have those available now for people that still don't feel comfortable to come in. Well, now we can bring it to you. We can also host events and, bring a grill and actually do everything at the location that you're looking for. So if you feel more comfortable in your home, we're able to do so. But those are definitely the changes that we had to do regarding the pandemic.
And this is one of the main reasons why I decided that I wanted to pick you guys as panelists. For somebody like Joe and I, who can utilize Zoom on a daily basis, multiple times, somebody like Natalia, Zoom really isn't helping at all. It's an industry where Zoom doesn't really work, and we're gonna hear Rich's point of view on it too. But I think, in a specific sense, it's almost similar to the sports and entertainment industry, where the players need to get together, the players need to practice. Zoom isn't working for the players relative to getting them on the field. I'm sure, Rich, you, in a certain way, it works, but in the sports and entertainment industry, I don't know how well the whole Zoom thing works. Can you talk a little bit about that?
You're right. We're a live event company. We're a sports team, right? That's where people go to, like Natalia, people go there to enjoy themselves. That's what we do, right? You come to an event to enjoy yourselves. And I always tell people, we work while other people play, right? We work while other people are relaxing. And especially with our sport, Long Island is very rich in lacrosse, but Long Island is not as rich in box lacrosse. And like Natalia, when she opened her business in December of 2019, we opened a box lacrosse business in December of 2019. And by March of 2020, we shut it down. So a lot of people didn't have a chance to actually see our sport. And when you see our sport, it's different. It's a lot different than lacrosse that you're used to seeing on Long Island. It's in a hockey rink. It's more violent. You can hit people with sticks. You score a lot of goals. So it's a lot different.
Can't do that on Zoom, right, Rich?
You cannot. You can, but it doesn't. So it's a lot different. So we were trying to get as many eyeballs on this new product as possible, and then it shuts down. So what does it do for us now? We have to get more creative, and that's one of the attributes that I like to think I have, is that I can get creative. We launched a lot of new businesses during this time based off of the Riptide. We launched a podcast that just got that kicked off and did really, really well. And we focused on getting our players into the marketplace, but then we focused on getting off platform and getting celebrities and people that have played lacrosse, especially on Long Island, and getting them on our podcast. We had people like Bob Woodruff, the ABC correspondent. We had Peter Dante, the actor who played at Hofstra. We had Nick Foley, who played for Melville, the professional wrestler. We had them on there telling them what lacrosse in Long Island meant to them, and it worked really well. We launched a program like this called Tide Talks, where we got all of our partners together, and we got different people together to talk about how their businesses are going. We launched town halls. We were really active on social media. And then at the core of our business is we sell tickets, right? We want to sell tickets like Natalia wants to sell people coming into her restaurant, and Joe needs clients to do what he does. We need to sell tickets. Those are our clients. So when we could, and in the summer, we did camps and clinics. And what we did was we gave enough value in those camps and clinics, but we also embedded a voucher ticket inside that registration. And the difference is that those vouchers weren't dated and they weren't assigned tickets. So people can use them for any game they feel comfortable for when we open up. So if you're not comfortable in December because maybe you're not vaccinated yet, our season goes through May and you feel more comfortable then you come in May and see our games. So that's a different way of us to look at how we were going to sell tickets. And then, and I loaded up on PR because we did a lot of these things, but if you cut a tree down in the woods and no one's there to hear it, did it actually fall? So I needed our PR people to get out and really push what we were doing and get that out there to let people know that we were still in business and we were doing these things.
Wow, it's just great to hear the different perspectives from each and every one of you. I mean, and it kind of goes the same with the LIA, you know. We're still doing what our core value is, and it's getting information out accordingly through our committees and events like this, where we have our members come in and listen to folks like yourselves so they can get a better understanding. So that really hasn't changed at all, because we're still averaging the 4 to 6 meetings on a monthly basis. And yes, there's Zoom meetings. So we're getting the message out. However, the major part of being part of an organization like the LIA is the networking component of it, which kind of has been lost. So in essence, yeah, do we have 20 plus participants on this event right now? Sure. Can Natalia give her business card to somebody here? No. Can Joe or Rich give a business card to somebody that's here? No. So you kind of lose that component of it. And even with our larger events that we're known for, we have spring and fall luncheons, we have an annual gala event, which we held virtually last year, and it went well. But again, you're still missing the whole component of, let's talk about our gala event, where it's a black tie event. So the men are getting dressed elegantly, the women are wearing their gowns, and you're getting together as a group of people, and you're just having a couple of cocktails, and there's a band, and you're dancing, and we're giving a few awards out. That kind of has gone away. So leading into the reopening, because that's where we're all striving for right now. Joe, tell me about what you're optimistic about in this whole reopening process.
Well, I'm optimistic that employees are going to be happy to return. Not all of them will be.
Yeah, no.
Some exceptions. There are truly some childcare issues out there, and I understand some people do have reservations about the virus. So we have a few exceptions, but I'm looking forward to everybody being back here in the office and working together. As an architectural and engineering firm, our engineers and architects, we work together, and when we're together, we develop good documents, which means things go well on a construction site and it costs less. So remotely, you don't mesh as well. So, I want our product, our designs, our plans to be as best as they can, and I'm looking forward to achieving that high level.
And it's funny because I can attest to that. So we're from the outside world, people think that the LIA is a huge organization, and we're really not. Right now, we're 6 strong, tightly knit individuals that work hand in hand. We all wear multiple hats. And as much as you can send an email to one of my colleagues and another email back, it's not the same when you're all in the office together. There's a specific synergy. There's a way that, like Joe, you mentioned, it just feels different. You're working closely with your colleagues and your peers, and it just gets done better that fashion, I feel, personally, than it is through working remotely. So we're actually currently running a hybrid program where there's 2 of us on designated days in the office. I'm hoping within the next month or so, it becomes more of, listen, all 6 of us can go to the office Monday through Friday, and it's back to business as normal. So we'll see where we go. So reopening, I'm guessing for Natalia is 100%. Everybody come in, everybody eat, everybody drink, everybody be merry. Life is good.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to having people, feel comfortable, and also like what has been carrying us in 2021 is actually social events, right? A lot of people wanting to get out with their families and, celebrating birthdays, baptisms, confirmations, you name it, graduations. But I'm looking more to partner up with corporate, pharmaceuticals, healthcare, really get those, as you say, when they get back in the office, they'll start, hosting their events and coming in and being able to do what they've been doing on a yearly basis when they get their management team together or their employees together. I'm looking definitely forward to that, having that back and having people come visit again. So that's something I honestly, I can't wait for. I can't wait. And then of course, attending networking events. I love those things. I really cannot wait. I'm over there just chit-chatting and talking away. And through Zoom, it's definitely not the same. Like you said, I know I can provide information, but I'm not giving you my business card. And I just feel like in person, it's just a different energy that you feel, that you can really connect with people. So I can't wait. Yeah.
Again, for both like you and Rich, it's it's food, beverage, it's entertainment. You need, it's better for you guys to be out in front of people physically to talk about your product than to do it this way. So Rich, reopening, you guys have a first game in December. I would think you have a little bit of a cushion to really prepare more, only because of the time frame of when the season starts. So again, what's your plan moving forward during this reopening process once we start to get through this month and next month and the closer we get to December?
Well, the thing is, first and foremost, we'll follow all guidelines by city, state, federal, whatever the guidelines are out there. But the other thing from our league standpoint is because we did take last year off, so we missed 1.5 seasons. And because we have other professional sports that their seasons are running before us, when we talked about this at a league level, we're almost letting those other leagues do our jobs for us, right? Because we're in the New York market. And in the New York market, we got The Rangers, the Knicks, the Devils, the Nets, the Islanders, they're all there. And the NHL and the NBA, and then you have the NFL with the Giants and the Jets, they're all petitioning to the governors to open up as much as they possibly can. So when they get to the point of December, that work would have been done for me already. I'm going to be dictated at how many people are allowed in the building at that point. We're hoping and would love to have 100% matter. That would be awesome. But if I'm at 50% or 75%, we will deal with that. And I think that brings up another challenge for us, and a challenge that I really embrace is that there's not many times in your life in any industry that you're in that you get to make the new normal. There will be a new normal when you go to live sporting events and concerts and things like that, right? After any major occurrence in this world, there's always been a new normal. My kids don't remember what it's like to walk up to an airplane and walk right onto an airplane right away, or wait at the gate for the people to get off the airplane. They're used to what they're dealing with. So there will be a new normal that everyone is used to, and we in our industry get a chance to help shape that. So I'm embracing that creative part of it, and I'm embracing that part to be able to say, you know what, we were involved in it from the beginning, and that makes it a little bit exciting for us to look at.
That's awesome. I'm just very excited. And you mentioned, and my New York Knicks. I'm a huge Knicks fan. Anybody knows me, they know how big of a Knicks fan I am. And it's the best time in the last 13 years of my life that they got the 4th seed and they get the first round. I am stoked. I can't wait. But listen, I think this is phenomenal information. I want to just close it off with this last question, and then I know Natalia has something that she wanted to share with everybody. But as members of the LIA, you've all been strong supporters of all of our programs and efforts and everything that we've done. So has this relationship been good for your business, and how has it worked out best for you? Joe, I'll start off with you again.
Yeah, it absolutely is good. So, what's really important to me, what I find valuable is hearing from other businesses, not mine. I don't want to hear from other architects and engineers. I want to hear from other people, hear from Natalie, Rich, and other industries. I can better gauge the situation my industry might be heading into. So I greatly value hearing everybody else. So, the virtual programs have been good. I try to make as many as I can, just to hear, get to click things in my head and decide how I'm going to progress them. We did participate in the speed dating elevator pitch series that you did twice. We did do that. I think that was pretty cool. But I'm looking forward to meeting more people. Getting back to face-to-face networking, so that I could speak a little bit about myself and my company to people. Which is it's a little more beneficial than this, but I do appreciate what the LIA has done in keeping these webinars going. Great.
Thank you, Joe. Natalia?
Yes. It's been great connecting with people like Joe was mentioning in different industries, learning about their companies. And again, being that we're a restaurant business and we have private rooms, we have meeting spaces, you can buy out the restaurant. It's just being able to connect with people, knowing that we're here for them, whatever needs that they have. So LIA has been great. I've been, fortunate enough to attend events, so I can't wait until you host more so that I can continue to meet more people within LIA.
And I know that you and I have had multiple conversations and actually hosting an event at Fogo de Chao. And again, fortunately, those conversations started to get, real traction right before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
So please know that it's still at the top of our list. We find that your organization is a valued partner, as well as Joe's organization. And I know, Rich, this is probably a hard question for you to answer, only because you're relatively new to our association, but Peter and others from within GF Sports have played a major role, and I am so looking forward to building on my relationship with you and the Riptide and prospering moving forward as we start to, get through this whole reopening process.
I agree. And again, I got here in January of last year. I moved to Long Island in August of last year. And Peter speaks very, very highly of your organization. And Peter's no longer here on Long Island. So I'm looking forward to it. And I'm absolutely looking forward to being a part of the fabric of this community. We're here. We want to be Long Island's team. We want to be the place where new memories are made for people and their families and things. And I look at it truly as a partnership, and it's not a one-way street with me. It's the way I live my life personally, and the way I want to live the life of this business that we run here is that we want to help, and we want to be woven into the fabric, and we want to be part of Long Island. Again, I moved here from New Jersey. I have been in a pandemic. I have not had a chance to personally experience Long Island at all. And I am looking forward to becoming on Long Island and not in Long Island, that everyone keeps correcting me on every time I'm there. But the Riptide and GF Sports are looking forward to being part of that. And me personally, I'm looking forward to calling this my new home.
Excellent. Thanks so much. And before I give you my closing remarks, I know Natalia had something that she wanted to share with everybody. So Natalia.
All right, guys. So I'm going to need you to get your phones. And you see this QR code here. If you can scan that for me, and you and your company can win a chance for a free event for 15 people. So,
and it works because Natalia and I went through it earlier on. Hence the reason, Joe, right? You get on board 10 minutes before.
Yep.
So if anybody needs that code again, just let Dave know and I can email that to you guys. But definitely I would love for somebody to win a chance to, 15 people or more, a free event. I think that's amazing to have you come in and be able to experience what Fogo has, especially the new way. And I can't wait to have everyone on this call come visit.
Thank you so much. And thank you all, really. Joe, Rich, Natalia, this has been great. I really thank you so much for playing a role in this event. It was a great series that we're starting, and we're going to continue to build on it. And on behalf of our acting president, Matt Cohen, and our chairman of the board, Larry Waldman, I want to say thank you to the panelists. Thank you to those who are participating. Don't forget to check out our calendar of events at longislandassociation.org. We have a few more events between the next week or so. So you want to get on and register for those events. But again, thank you all for attending. And I wish you guys all have a wonderful remaining day. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, guys, take care.
Bye, Rich. Take care.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Natalia. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.